Welcome to another edition of Entertainment News with me, Michael Bates. This week we've got Ghost in the Shell in cinemas, and you might be wondering, should I go and see that? You might be like me and you're not a huge anime fan. I started out, my first experience of anime was with those kind of weird ones.
There you are, Sakura-kun!
Thank you for saving me, Dokuro-Chan.
But then a few years later, at a film festival, I saw my first Studio Ghibli film. It didn't make me a total convert, but I do like to see the ones that are more hyped up as being, the better ones in the genre, and I would say Ghost in the Shell certainly applies to that category. So what is it about Ghost in the Shell that makes it a cut above the rest? Set in a near-future society with a mix of Japanese and Western cultural influences, but predominantly in Japan. It's about an anti-terrorism unit called Section 9, specifically dealing with cyber terrorism, which is important in this period because people have started using technology, integrating it with their bodies and their minds to enhance their abilities. The concepts and images will seem pretty familiar from all kinds of sci-fi, but please bear in mind that it predates a lot of these and they took inspiration from it. Check out the video I've linked below by Anime Vice called 7 Things You Probably Didn't Know About Ghost in the Shell to see the crossover with The Matrix. Based on a comic, there are also films, games and TV. I've watched the 2002 animated series, the 1995 animated movie and the 2017 live action film, and I would thoroughly recommend all 3, but for different reasons. I started with the TV show, and it's probably my favourite of the 3. It really nicely blends a spy thriller with science fiction with a crime drama. It's got great action, but it isn't ultra violent, and it's sexy but without falling into the cliched archetypes. My only real criticism is the stuff with the spider tanks is clearly designed at younger kids, and it sometimes took me out of it, but it does redeem itself with that somewhat towards the end of the series. The film is similar but different in some key ways. It is ultra violent and it does use the sexuality for titillation quite a lot of the time. I like that it jumps right in, there's no extended origin story, and I like the artwork, beautiful landscapes, great animation of motion, but there is quite a lot of exposition that goes on throughout, which I think counts against it to an extent. It is certainly the most philosophical of the 3 and it sort of asks the most questions of the audience. And then there's the modern live action film. It's a good hybrid of the TV series and the animated film in that it takes out the hyper-violence and it takes out the sexual titillation and the exposition, but it keeps a lot of the key scenes from the animated film, particularly like the visually impressive scenes. But it tells a new story, a story that's much closer to what you would see in the animated series. The film's been criticised of a whitewashing, particularly in relation to Scarlett Johansson, but I can understand why they did that. It's a relatively obscure IP. She's a big name, brings in the crowds. So I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt. When I was watching it, I thought Aramaki's character was excellent. I mean, his character's excellent in all 3, but they picked a highly respected Asian actor to play him, and he certainly did it justice. My main sort of whitewashing issue was with the supporting cast, particularly like a lot of the goons were Asian actors, whereas the main parts were played by Europeans and Americans. I thought, with the exception of Scarlett Johansson, we could have had a fully Asian cast or certainly a predominantly Asian cast, and that would have worked out fine. So it actually ended up bothering me more.
Sucks to be hacked, haha. I'd recommend you watch Ghost in the Shell. Or you could read a good book, haha.
If you like general action, certainly it's worth checking out. So that's it for entertainment news today. I've linked below, as I say, that video by Anime Vice. Give that a look. And as always, I'm a huge Screenjunkies fan, so I'll put links to them below as well. Check them out. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. See you later.